live, and hopefully we're live now. Hey guys, how you all doing? Hey Clara,
Hi.
yes, hey you, hey everyone in the live chat.
Hi.
We
Been a
haven't
long
been.
time.
Well, I was going to say we have been. We've been to lots of places, but we're finally back doing a live. It feels like such a long time since we did the last one. It must be a few weeks at least, and it's even less than a few weeks until Turin, which is insane. But guys, first of all, how you doing?
Good. I slept finally. My feet are less inflated or less like sore of all the dancing and partying. So I'm good. I'm tanned. I've been in Spain. I'm still in Spain.
One day I'm gonna like strap you down at a Eurovision event and just see like how you find it. Clara's a dancer, guys. Jess, I can't. It's been so long since I've seen you. I can't remember if you're a dancer.
I am, but I'm a very bad one at that.
With my dancer, I'm not a dancer. I cannot follow a choreography for the sake of me. I just like moving and jumping around.
And Stu, we're going to find out in a couple of weeks.
Well, what's to find out? I mean, don't you already know based on my personality?
No.
He's like the typical guy that like just fist bumps the air.
Are you an air fist bumper? Anyway, we have to go to the live chat because there's so many of you in here already. We've got Sarah O'Halloran, you're always first and we love you for it. We've got Mark Bugard, Mark Bugard in Switzerland. Have you changed your name? No, I'm sure your name was spelled different. I'm so sorry. It's been a long week. Hey, Andy team, thank you for the great Eurovision Party interviews. And thank you so much, guys, for watching and for all the comments. We've really enjoyed going back to the pre-parties after a 3-year break. The pandemic meant that there's been no pre-party since 2019. So we've really enjoyed being back. And also you're predicting Italy or UK for, oh my God. Jess, how long has it been since we've heard someone say that? Thank you. Italy or Ukraine for the win. I hope that is a UK and you weren't meant to put Ukraine. Thank you so much. I love the song. Hey, Morton V, how you doing? Yes. Well, even less than 3 weeks now. I think it's 2 weeks, under 2 weeks till the rehearsals start, right?
That means next week.
Yeah.
No?
End of next week, almost, give or take.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
this weekend, but the weekend after.
Yeah, next Saturday. Wow, we can't wait. Sarah, as well, you're loving Snap. Oh, God, I love it too. We've got Edman. Hey, you hope Azerbaijan will be overrated rather than underrated. Nadir has such a beautiful voice. Do you mean underrated rather than over? I always get confused. I absolutely love his song. And we did get to meet him in Madrid this weekend. Really, really lovely, humble guy. I'm not sure if he knows how good his voice is, but his performance in Madrid as well was fantastic, Clara.
Yeah, very professional. Very professional on stage. He could deliver. The crowd loved it. The best thing about these pre-parties is that you hear the crowd react to the songs, and you know which song is going to do really well, and you know who artist has the biggest support, and which song probably is going to survive after the Eurovision season. And we are probably going to be hearing it over and over again on the radio. So
well, I would be really sad not to see Azerbaijan qualify because I think it's a beautiful song instrumentally, and also his voice, especially because the man doesn't stop with the high notes. He just keeps going higher and higher and higher, and it's amazing. Edman, as well, you're saying that you loved Albania, Azerbaijan, Italy, and Poland. The girl from Albania cannot sing live well. Well, I can vouch that she can sing live well, but in Amsterdam she was having some sound problems and she actually couldn't hear herself. And if you can imagine singing in a huge arena with everyone screaming and not being able to actually hear what you're singing, I do think she did an amazing job in Amsterdam. Plus, being in the arena, Clara, it sounded...
Yes,
she owned the stage like no one else that night.
In Madrid, which is 2 or 3 days ago, she did amazing. The thing is, and this was confirmed to us by many in the purple carpet, there was a lot of problems with the sound check in Amsterdam, and many artists didn't hear themselves. Even the Rasmus, and they are seasoned performers, so they really know how to manage these things. So it was a technical issue in Amsterdam, even though we had a great time there, right, Andy?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, so good. So good to be back. I'm going to go through, guys, we will come back to some of your comments, but we just need to do hellos because there's so many of you here. I can see we've got Laurie Francis in the house. Hey, Laurie, how you doing? We've got Carolina. Hey, Carolina, we'll come back to your question. We've got Francesca Sant'Ambrogio, I can see. We've got AM Rifki. We've got Central Perk. Hello to you. We've got, let's have a look. We've got Gianluca. Hey, Gianluca from Torino. We're going to be seeing you in a couple of weeks. We've got Adrian Petrikovsky. We've got ESC Manga. We've got Ne Eduardo. We've got, hey, Ry Bailey, you're saying that Greece is your winner. We've got Vincent. We've got Stephen from Ireland. We've got Mr. Whatever. Oh, your first live. Well, I'm hoping it won't be your last live stream with us, but thank you so much for joining. If you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe. Well, I have to say hello to Vanya Lubich. Hello to you. We've got Jordan C from Belfast. Hey, Jordan, how you doing? We've got Aldin, who is from
Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the blue and the stars and the yellow.
I can't see the flags. I can just see the letters.
Ah.
Oh, you can see the flags your end, can you?
I'm on a Mac, so on Macs the flags actually show up.
Ah, well, Aldin, I have to shout out to you. And Stuart, this involves you actually, because I was talking to Stuart about our trip to Turin yesterday. And I was thinking about if Stuart's in Italy and he's come all the way from Canada, what other places can he go to? And I did suggest that he gets a ferry over to Albania. But the other place I was going to suggest was Sarajevo in Bosnia and Herzegovina, because it's one of my all-time favorite cities and so much kind of history and culture there. So Stu, if you get a couple of days, maybe hit Bosnia and Herzegovina as well. We've got Nicola. Hey, Nicola. I'm sure you're looking good as well. We've got ESC Matt Gargo. We've got Ben Enty in the house. We've got ESC. We've got Aidan Harley Moran. Fernanda Costa. We've got ESC Harmon. Simple Things. Guys, there's too many of you now. But thank you so much for joining. I'll try and pick out some of your comments. And I am first going to pick out let's have a look. Carolina, good question from you. Which country do we think will do a Cyprus 2018 or Poland 2016? So I guess this means kind of come out from the shadows and do really, really well. 2016 Poland was Michal, wasn't it? Of course, with the color of my love, color of your love,
color of your life. I think
that's it. Color of your life. So I got. Oh, this is hard because I feel like it's really my year this year. What song is going to be a surprise and end up doing much better than people
I am extremely biased, so I'm going to say Latvia because that's what I wish.
I'm going to say Moldova. I just have this sneaking suspicion that Moldova is going to make people so happy when it comes to Eurovision. I think they're definitely going to qualify, and I actually think they could be up there either in or near the top 10 on the night of the final. I think people are going to love them. Who's going next, Stu?
It's a hard call. I mean, there's a lot that I could see having that kind of success. Maybe I'll just go with one of my kind of biases and say Portugal, because they're working with the staging director from last year. And we all know that one of the biggest elevations or the biggest change in the impressions of Portugal 2021 was when we saw the staging. And then all of a sudden people were like, oh yeah, it is actually a good song. So this time there actually seems to be a lot of love for the song already. So if they're able to bring it up to that, have it have that same kind of growth, then potentially it could do really, really well in the end. And I think another one, just to kind of mix it up, would be Iceland, because there's just something that's so relaxing and calming about it. I've seen some people compare it to the Common Linnets, which would also be another example of a song that was, maybe not anticipated to do as well, and then ended up being the runner-up. So that would be one that I would be happy to see go pretty far.
I'm pointing at Jess because Jess, I know it's one of your favorites this year, Iceland.
And that was also going to be my answer to this question as well, for basically every reason that you just said. So, yeah.
There we go. Francesca, you got tickets for 2 semi-final jury. I'm so happy that you got tickets. Well, we didn't get tickets because we're not going to the shows, but we will be in Turin, obviously. But yeah, who else in the live got some tickets? Because I know that some people missed out, unfortunately, but we'll still be going to Turin, which is amazing because there's going to be such a great atmosphere in the city, along with lots and lots and lots of fantastic food. Let's have a look. Central Perk. No, I don't believe anyone has interviewed Mahmood and Blanco because they're both very busy touring at the moment. But guys, fingers crossed, they're going to be so hard to get near in performing on home ground. But we're going to try our best because I'm not going to be leaving Italy until I've had that damn carbonara with Mahmood. So if he doesn't want to find himself with the stalker for the rest of his life, then hopefully we can make that happen. Let's have a look. Central Perk also wants to know, what do we think about the logos and the stage? Well, I'm going to jump in about the stage because there was a video released a few days ago by either a video or some photos released by Eurovision recently. And for me, it's taken a little while to get used to the stage because it's quite different to what we've had recently, and kind of having this, I don't know what you call it, these circles in the middle. I think it's going to look beautiful, actually, especially with the waterfall, the little waterfall at the front. I can't wait to see how the artists use this stage, and that's what I find really exciting about it. And some of the artists that we spoke to are actually really excited about the stage as well. Clara?
I actually like the logo, the sound of beauty. I was going to say the sound of music. It clearly is a reference, but it's a very synesthetic concept. Like, how does beauty sound? Like, it's a visual, but it's also an audio experience. So you get all of your senses invested in this whole experience. So I'm very excited to see how that is going to also translate onto the stage, because it's also visual and it's also audible. Audible? Yeah, it's the word. Audible. Yeah. So I think they've managed to really put together the idea of the staging and the whole concept of Eurovision in a slogan.
Stu, I know that you're kind of very creative when it comes to production, and how are you feeling about this stage?
I'm very curious about it. I think that when I first saw it, I was reminded of some of the stages that we saw in like the 1970s. There's one in particular that I think was
Israel.
Yes.
Is that right?
Jerusalem,
where they had kind of this round, and I'll tell you how I know that. 1979, because
the big gongs. 1999 in Israel.
Tara will know this
one.
The
big sun with the beams in the back.
The lady that came, was it called Tucanthi? No.
Lydia?
No, it was like a Spanish lady that came second, and I just remember seeing this.
Oh, Anabel Conde.
No, much earlier than that, much earlier.
Oh.
Someone in the live chat, who came second for Spain in 1979? I just remember Betty Misiego.
Oh my God, you are an encyclopedia. I'm so bad at it. Yeah, and after that, kids were never allowed on stage.
Wow. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I've had to absorb and tap into my only so many years of Eurovision knowledge to really think about all that. But yeah, I wasn't sure how I thought about it at first. But you know, as we've seen some of the concept art and some of the 3D renderings, I think that there's going to be a lot of creative ways to make use of it. And I think about the stage that we saw last year and how, while you know it was really utilized in a great way, I think that one of the problems might have been that it was a little bit shapeless in some the way that it was used in some ways, because the LED was so big. And I find that this idea of having the kind of semicircle sun that can be broken apart, a way of adding a bit more depth, that stage was lacking in some ways. So it is interesting to see like how the ideas develop from year to year, and when they try something and you know something else comes up that seems to be a bit of a problem, and then the following year they try and rectify it. So I am very curious about it. And just to speak about the overall theme, the sound of beauty, and the way that they're using, I can't remember the name of the visual representation of sound, but that idea I find really, really fascinating, and I just I don't know, it's such a fitting theme, especially now that we have all the music for the year. It seems to fit all that really nicely.
And it's not blue.
Yes, that's a good one
Thanks
too.
God.
We've got. I mean, just to say, I'm sure that there's going to be a Latvian from Zitti E Buoni hanging off like one of these kind of semicircle things. I was just trying to think, like, who was the German guy that like ran on?
Udo. Yeah.
Anyway, Adrian, you want to know where do we think Poland will come in the final?
Top 10 for sure.
100%.
Definitely top 10.
Yeah.
I'm going to say left-hand side. I think it might just fall short of top 10. Potentially. We'll see.
I think definitely top 10. I think this Christian has got such an amazing voice. The only thing about Christian is that he's so into his performance in the song that he just needs to remember to connect with the audience as well. But I think that voice alone, I think how the song can make you feel listening to it. I think top 10. Is it going to be a winner?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to be a winner, but it will definitely be Poland's best result for a long time. Possibly their second ever best result, because I think I'm not sure what they came second, didn't they, in the 90s? I know they've come 8th. I'm not sure if they've come anywhere in between there. But yeah, there you go, Adrian. You've got a great entry this year, you guys. You don't need to worry. Let's have a look for some more questions. I'm just trying to find some. I see lots of comments, no questions, which is nice. While I'm looking for some, Clara, your favourite performance from Madrid, which was only this weekend.
Ooh, hola mi bebé, hola mi bebé, llámame, llámame. But just because of how he lit up the whole arena, the whole venue, this guy. Andrei Urs has an incredible support from the Spanish fans, and literally everyone in Spain knows "Hola, mi bebé," and it's how we're all greeting each other. And now I've been branded today by my household the most annoying person living here at this moment, because I'm all the time singing "Hola, mi bebé" and telling my mom and my sister like "Hola, mi bebé." So my mom's like, "Shut up."
And Spain is voting in that semi-final, aren't they?
I hope so, because it's going to be Spain's summer song for sure, if not Europe's summer song. And Urs has a great personality. He's so charming. He's so close to the people. He's just having the best life. He's just living his best life, and it's just so great to hang with. And he smells really nice. His cologne is really nice.
Tom Ford.
Tom Ford, yes indeed.
Which I can also vouch is a very nice fragrance. If you can afford it, because it's very expensive. But I can vouch for him. He's such a lovely guy, and he's not diva-ish at all.
Yeah, no, at all.
He's really down to earth. You can have a nice chat with him. He's a really, really nice guy, enjoying the experience. And I actually think Romania is going to be a bit of a surprise for some people. I think when it was released, I think people completely discounted it. I myself said it, felt it was a bit dated maybe, but wow, has that song grown. One that I can't wait to hear whenever I'm at a party, and I think that will be I think Romania will be a surprise this year. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think people weren't even thinking they were going to qualify.
It's qualifying.
Yeah,
hands down.
100%. I think there's probably about 36 songs that I'm saying will be qualifying. And Motherload as well. So, Stuart and Jess, you guys have watched some of the pre-parties from home. You haven't been yourself. So, were there any performances from the pre-parties that stood out for you?
With respect to participants, I'd have to look back. Well, one that I think really, not in a way surprised me, but kind of reinvigorated my faith in the song would be Armenia, because Rosalind has been a very competent performer. And I think that there wasn't a lot of fanfare when her song came out. It wasn't like immensely disliked or anything, but it was just kind of like, oh yeah, that's nice. But she has made a very positive impression, so I would say that she would be one of them. We only saw one performance of it, but I loved Constracta's performance of Incorpore Sano in Israel. It was like, I the song itself is just so fascinating, but the fact that so many people are responding to it when a lot of people were saying that it was going to go over too many people's heads has been really encouraging. So that's probably been the one that I've rewatched the most.
Yeah, it's going to be viral, I think, when it comes to Torino. Jess, how about you? Your favourite pre-party?
I've actually enjoyed Ronella's performances. Like, she has a great stage presence. You know, she kind of can get the audience going, and I've been very impressed by her vocals and just general performance of what I've seen at the pre-parties. So probably she, I would say, is my favourite.
And Clara, when we saw it in Amsterdam, we both actually said to each other that after watching her live and how she did own that stage and the stage presence and how she got the crowd going, that's actually gone up a lot in my estimation in terms of the position that it will get in Eurovision this year. Yeah,
she's really good. She's really good. I thought that the revamp was a little bit all over the place, but now that I'm used to it and I love it and I really embrace it and I enjoy it so much. And it's really difficult to sing in this low voice where she's like, but she does it perfectly. I don't know, she feels the stage so much. I think she's not going to have any trouble qualifying at all.
No. And she did say that she'd teach me some dance moves.
Do you know
how bad that I actually am, but
I was going to say that another performance or another artist that really surprised me is Emma Muscat. I had already written her off, but her live performances are super enjoyable. She's really connecting to the crowd, and that is something that some other artists are really lacking. But Emma, it's like it's a warm embrace, and like the crowd is embracing her back, and everyone sings along, and everyone like waves their arms. I don't know. She's really great at engaging with the crowd.
Yeah, and I have to be completely honest. I've only really picked up Malta since I've seen her perform in Amsterdam, and I felt the effect the song had on me and how happy it made me. Her vocals are fantastic. It really got the crowd going, and again, my opinion completely switched. And for me, Malta is another definite qualifier through to the final. I know some people might not agree with me on that, but I actually think Malta's going to be a surprise this year. Plus, she's performing in a country, Italy, where she's already quite well known. She's very familiar with. So yeah, I think Malta one to watch this year. Not for not for the win or anything like that, but I think it will do a lot better than people expected.
I just saw a comment that says that her performance, her vocals live have not been the best, but there's a very different. There's a difference between what we hear in the arena or in the venue and what you guys hear through the live streams. Because I've gone back and watched a few of the performances, and I was like, this sounds really bad on the live stream, but the live vocals sounded in the arena really great. And I've been to all of the four. I haven't been to Israel, but I've been to all of the other pre-parties. And I can really tell that there's a big difference from what you hear from the screen and what you hear from the venue. So trust us when we say that when an artist can sing.
Completely. I'm just going to do some more hellos. We've got a Claudio from Bologna in Italy. Ne Eduardo, you're in Piedmont. A very beautiful part of Italy. We've got RJ. Hey, RJ from the Netherlands. How you doing? That's someone who we have to talk about tonight as well. Steen with the Diepte. We've got Gia, who I think is in Italy. Hello to you. We've got MDL. Are you from San Marino? Or is that your favourite? SM. Is that San Marino?
That is San Marino, yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. All right, Clavs, hello to you. You want to know our favourite Eurovision party this year? I'm going to say Amsterdam, hands down.
That is so hard. I'm going to say Madrid was great. Yeah, Madrid was great.
I mean, all of the pre-parties are great though, because they've all got a different vibe.
Yes, that's very true.
Amsterdam, I have very good memories from kind of my first Eurovision in concert. So Amsterdam is one that I will always love, and it's the first time we get to see the artist in a kind of proper arena type venue. Madrid is always beautiful, kind of the setting in like the tropical club, and you know, and I was going to say it's always hot, but last time we were there a few years ago, it was raining, raining cats and dogs, and we've unfortunately never been to Israel, London, in a new venue. This year.
Yeah, I think I like the press area, the press room from London. It was easier to get like the acts. Then Amsterdam was also very well organized when it came to talking to the acts, and Barcelona had a great rooftop party.
That was at the Sala Apollo, the Teatro Apollo.
Yeah, that was where the concert was, but the day before there was like a pink carpet where the press got to meet the artist, and then they took us to the rooftop of that hotel, which it was not Apollo Hotel, it was a different place. I don't remember the name, but they had a fantastic rooftop party with free drinks for everyone.
We do love a rooftop party. Rye Bailey, I'm loving you. San Marino is a dark horse. I've actually heard a rumor that some people have seen the live on tape for San Marino, or that it's leaked, and there's quite a bit of hype, and people are saying that since they've seen that, they think San Marino is going to do much better. I'm still going to say hands down San Marino will get their best result ever this year. Absolutely love it. It's in my top 10 from this year for sure. Ne Eduardo, you think it's the first year that the big five have all good hits? I'm going to disagree with you. I think 4 of the big 5 are doing very well this year. I will leave you to guess which one I'm not really feeling. But let's talk about the big 5, Stu, because you know it's good to see that we've not got kind of one good big 5 entry and then 4 crap ones. You know, the big 5 are really bringing it this year.
Yeah, well, I think as Eurovision grows and it becomes more international, you're no longer embarrassing yourself against like the random small European countries to the side of you that you don't even think about. You're now embarrassing yourself in front of the entire world. So if you're gonna have that guaranteed spot in the final, then you better put up or shut up, right? So it's been a long time coming. Let's be honest. I mean, there have been certain misses where, especially when we've seen I guess host countries are a different topic, but I mean, it can't just be Italy pulling the weight for everyone else and then everybody kind of dragging their feet. I mean, I'm definitely happy to see that we've seen this big step up from some of them. Hopefully, the ones that aren't all the way there can catch up at some point. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, and Clara, we were saying at the weekend, it's so strange for us being from the UK and from Spain, and actually being able to properly support good entries from your ones that lots of other people seem to be loving. I mean, Spain and the UK are both in the top 4 of the OGAE poll currently. Which I didn't think I would see. I was hoping I would see one day, but incredible. And Janelle as well.
She's a great performer. It has taken me a bit to get behind it because I was a big Rigoberta supporter, but now I think as a professional singer and as a professional dancer, she does a fantastic job. I don't think Spain, being completely honest with myself and knowing that I love the Rigoberta, I don't think we would have placed so high in the odds with Rigoberta because it was something for Spain. And taking Chanel is taking something for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah, and I'm 100% with you on that. I don't think everyone would have got Rigoberta. I think it was something for the Spanish audience. So no matter what the Spanish fans may have thought back in February and all the drama around Chanel winning and not tan Chigueras or Rigoberta, I think actually Spain has made the best choice this year in terms of their song, Dare I Say. And boy, can she perform. She's incredible. The vocals stack up. I mean, she was telling us that she sings and walks in high heels on a treadmill. to practice. And you know, when you're prepared to go that far and work that hard, I think you deserve a good result. But we're definitely going to see Spain's best result for a long time. I think it's going to be up there. I'm seeing a top 5.
I'm seeing a top 5 too, and I've never said this word. Oh my god, I'm sweating now.
You know what I saw pretty early on? Everybody knows like Chanel, the brand, and their most popular essence is Chanel No. 5. So I feel like that's a really great idea to manifest, right?
Just your little puns.
Oh my god!
No, this did not come from my brain. This came from somewhere else. But
okay, that is the part that I'm going to Instagram later.
Well, let's talk about one of the other big 5. Let's talk about the UK. Any predictions about the UK's staging? I'll be completely honest. I'm just trying not to think about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to F it up this year. I'm pretty confident that that he will pull it out of the bag. And actually, I think Sam's quite involved in the staging, and I don't think he would allow something that's really tacky or, you know, that won't stand up to this song. So I'm really excited. It might be a bit quirky. It might be a little bit comedic, maybe, but that's his style, and that works for him. So, and I can't say your name, Eknemans. You want him to take the trophy? Me too. But let's go to you, Stu, as a non-Brit. What are you thinking for the staging for the UK? Anything that you would like to see?
I don't have any specific ideas, but I mean, like, this is the area in which I always constantly remind myself that, like, this is where things could go south. And I don't mean to be negative, but like, this is where we were last year, because I mean, I do think that this song is more promising, and we have an evidently better performer this year. But like last year, people were like, yeah, Embers is a good song. And then we saw the staging and everything went south, and we know how that ended. So the fact that, you know, as you say, Sam's being involved with the staging, and we also have Marvin Dietman and Dan Shipton, which means that it's not going to be that level of bad. Let's be honest. Last year was bad. It might end up being a bit too restrained, because I feel like with that pair, they do a lot of very good looking stage performances. The only thing that sometimes holds them back is that they're almost too grounded. Like I feel like sometimes they just need to break out of their shell, and sometimes they do that better. Like, I think Cyprus was one of the best stages that we saw from them. Well, not only from them, but from all of the participants that we saw last year. It was definitely their best. But then there were some others, like, you know, everybody knows how Spain went, right? So, you know, like, let's wait and see is basically the approach that I'm going into when it comes to the UK.
I'm the only thing I've always had in my head about the staging for this is, and I don't know what you call this, Stu, but where it's like a kind of almost a one take. So like one camera is following the artist around the stage, and maybe there'll be a couple of switches to a different camera. But what do you call that? Like a really long take. I can just see that and moving around to different things that are set up on the stage. Who knows? But like I said, I prefer not to worry about it, because I've just, you know, I've really got my fingers crossed. I'm going to go to Mr. Whatever, who thinks Portugal is going to do very well. It's pure art. Stu, I know you love this. Clara, I think you like this one too.
Yeah.
Yes, I have no clue with you.
What are you guessing?
I'm going to say you don't like it.
It's not one of my favorites, to be honest with you. I mean, I do think, as Mr. Whatever said, it is a piece of art. It's a very beautiful song that's, you know, performed very well by Maro. But the song itself just doesn't appeal to me personally.
Oh, see, for me, it's like being in a dream listening to this song. It's honey for my ears. It's like a lullaby. I don't know. It's just so much wrapped up in one beautiful song, and it just takes me to a beach with my eyes closed. And yeah, it's just absolutely stunning. This, for me, you guys know how much I loved O Jardim, and this is on par with O Jardim for me. And I again think that this will be a potential surprise when it comes to Rena. It's so wide open though this year. I think songs that are going to be coming further down the list on the night of the final are going to be really good songs. You know, which is slightly upsetting. But let's just say hello to Euroboy4. Hello to you. We missed you. And Vincent is saying Lithuanian Monica is so lovely. Do it, Jess. My favourite part of any Eurovision song this year. I mean, this has been a grower. Clara.
Yeah, I have her written down as qualifying, so I just think her style is so different, her music is so different, and her personality is so unique. And the way she sings is very magnetizing and hypnotic. And it's gone down really, really well at the pre-parties. And I think she's as surprised as everyone else that a song in Lithuanian can do so well.
I really love the song. It's one of my favorites, and I think that she's one of the best performers that we have, and it has been also really nice to see her get that love from the fans as well. I am very concerned about its qualifications just because it's so early in the running order, and because it's like so quirky. It's almost like it's hard to know the audience that this would appeal to, but I have so much respect for it, and it was the best, in my opinion. It was the best choice out of what they had at the Lithuanian selection this year, so I'm very happy that it's going forward, and hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully that it will actually qualify, because she's definitely got the talent to do so.
Yeah, I'd be really upset if she doesn't qualify. When we watched her live in Amsterdam, it was like watching performance from the 1970s. Just her look and even the kind of camera work that they've done. Yeah, I can't wait to see this. And I don't think we're going to get any huge surprises in terms of the visuals. I think it will be quite similar to what we see, but I don't think she needs to change a lot. One of the things that we had a conversation the other day, Clara, and it was around how 10, 15 years ago, when you spoke about what's the staging going to be like, what you really wanted to know was what gimmick are they going to be using. And now when we're talking about staging, we're talking about staging. We're not talking about gimmicks. And I think that this will go down really well. I really hope it qualifies from the semi-final. I love her. She's a little bit nuts as well, and I love that in a performer.
In a good way, though.
And I just need to hear lots more poops. And it just makes me so happy. Boo!
I've been hearing Andy going poo 24/7 since the pre-party started.
I want to hear the audience do it with her when she's performing in Turin, just to hear a big woo.
The thing is, like, some people I've said it to, they're like, I don't know what bit you're talking about. I'm like, how have you not heard that? It's like the first bit that I hear.
We even have audios. Andy sends us audios, just like a second of audio of him just like woo.
Yeah.
This is why you never want to be friends with me, guys. If there's a reason not to join Eurovoxx, this is it. Let's have a look. We've got Dan Stupid. I'm not sure it's not stupid, Dan, but Sweden is in your top. But actually, you think it's more. You think about it, the more you like a lot of songs that will be going above it. Well, let's talk about Sweden, because probably people haven't been talking about it as much because it's Sweden. One of the best chances to win, I think, this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally. Yeah.
I think it has the potential to appeal to televoters and jury voters enough to secure a 7th win, in my opinion. The raw emotion when she's performing the song and the way her voice sounds is beautiful. Just everything about it is magical. And I think it could create a moment on stage similar to Salvador.
Yeah, I have a very good feeling at this moment. We'll see what happens when we see rehearsals, but I have a very good feeling about them winning this year. It's just, there's something about the way that the song is written that just feels so effortless. Like the fact that it is a polished but not overly polished performance, the fact that it's sung very well, but it's not, there's that rawness to her voice, and that, she's telling a very heartfelt personal story that feels like you're there with her while she's going through it. Yeah, it's totally relatable. And I think that could absolutely reach people. It's definitely going to get, we know Sweden and juries, we know how that goes, but this year I think people are going to be pretty happy about it. And yeah, it's going to get that televote support too. I'm quite confident about it. It might not win the televote, but it doesn't. You don't need to win the televote to win Eurovision. Let's just accept that, okay?
Yeah. Yes.
And Clara, you got to have a great conversation with her as well in Madrid.
She's lovely. She's so warm to talking about of approaching people, and she wants to tell you about her song and how it was, how it happened, and I don't know. You just get such a nice vibe of her, and she's just happy to be there and happy that people sit down and listen and think about her song and what it means to them. So she's a fantastic person to interview, and I appreciate that very much, because after you do so many interviews in these events, you are happy to find someone that is vibing more or less with you and like is happy to be there and wants to be there and is comfortable giving you answers, and actually not only giving you answers but making a conversation about her song and her creative process. So you can learn so much from her. So guys, this is the time to plug in the interview. So go to the Eurovoxx and Annie, you also talked to her in London. So there's a few interviews we have with Cornelia, and if you don't like her yet, you will after those.
Oh God, she's so cute and really humble and modest as well. I think she's, you know, you'd think that when someone wins Melfest, they'd be kind of so up on this cloud and think, you know, everyone's going to. She's not like that at all. I think she's just really grateful for the opportunity. She loves that people are connecting with the song, but I still think she finds that surprising in itself.
And she's tiny. She's so cute.
She's so smart. My favourite bit of choreography from Cornelia. That's my new sign language for bleed, isn't it? But yeah, can't wait to see that. And also, she's already got like a pre-made circle in the middle of the stage, so we won't be seeing exactly what we saw on the Melfest stage when it comes to Turin, which I don't think has happened for a while. Normally,
she speaks a little bit about it on the interview, so.
All right, yeah. So go check out the interview, guys. You want to hear more about the staging. We've got Nossa Led. Hello, Sam. Is your personal favourite from Eurovision this year? We've got Shay as well talking about Sam Ryder. UK don't need to overdo it with him. I agree with you. We've also got Tiomir, who says that Mia from Croatia was so good live at the pre-parties. Glad she got some love. You got to talk to her as well in Madrid, Clara.
Yes, she is really enjoying her time here. She's going to, I think everyone knows this, she's not going to bring the dancer to Turin. And she was telling me about how the song came to be and how she was sitting with her songwriters, and apparently one of them, or like in general, someone was having like a triangle situation, so they wrote about it.
Oh, I do love a triangle situation.
Oh, so do I.
We've got Solmaz Mamedova. What do we think about the live performance of Azerbaijan? Do we think it's going to qualify?
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, what you waiting for?
Yeah, I think it's going to qualify as well. I really hope it does, because I think it deserves to. Because I do really think it's a beautiful song. We've got some love here from Anna D for Christian Ockman from Poland. Soren Sen, Emil, you think the UK will not finish on the left side of the table? I really hope you're wrong. I really hope.
I am quite certain you are wrong, sir.
Betwixt Tales, UK, one of your top favourites this year. You can't remember when you were able to say that last. We've got Dan Castell. You're saying the one and only dark horse is Constructor.
Actually, Serbia's entry this year is one that I genuinely cannot kind of guess where it's going to place, because either it's going to be like huge and viral and everyone's going to love it and it's going to be top 5, or people are not going to get it and it's going to go nowhere. And it's the confusing entry for me.
It went down really well on the Barcelona and on Madrid pre-party. Everyone was like,
Yeah, I'm just happy that we get to see something like this at Eurovision. In a sense, like I've seen a lot of Serbians also say this, that they're just proud of it and they don't really care where it ends up in the end. And I kind of feel the same way, because it's forward thinking. It's, you know, a very captivating artist, I have to say, telling a story that we don't always hear. And the fact that it's also part of Eurovision, which, you know, when you can take into consideration the things that she's kind of satirizing or critiquing, Eurovision is a lot of that. It's a lot of, you know, image and, you know, having to uphold to this image of health, which really has nothing to do with mental health. I think that it's just such a great opportunity to have like a little bit of a critique of culture in a way that's, you know, somewhat palpable.
Yeah, and she, I mean, she looks quite serious when she performs as well, but she sells the hell out of the song as she's performing. She's really such a talented artist. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I would love to see this really high up. I also don't know whether it's going to come really high up the leaderboard or not, but I think people will get on board. I think people will like the uniqueness and the originality behind the performance, and I think they're gonna love her. There's something almost, you know, like when you fall in love with like a really stern mistress type. You know, she looks like you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of her, but you can't help but love her.
Never experienced that.
I'm not explaining myself. But yeah.
You'll have to tell me more about all of this in Turin.
Robert Westholm, I see you, and I'm going to come to you shortly. But guys, before we've got one very important thing. Please do remember that we are still collecting money to send aid to Ukraine. There should be a donate button in the live chat, or if you're not watching this live, there should be a donate button underneath the video. So as much or as little as you can give. We are still raising money. The total is still going up. So thank you to those of you that have donated so far. And also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We've got so much coming up. I say so much coming up now, between now and Turin. There's only 2 weeks away, so maybe not that much. But we will obviously have lots coming up for you while we're in Turin for Eurovision as well. So yeah, make sure you subscribe.
Plus a remix of Andy going poo. Poo.
Robert Westheim, I've lost. Oh no, I've got you now. You think Esteen is the dark horse this year? She's going to do really, really well. Mark my word.
Yeah,
definitely. I'm not sure Netherlands would want to host again, but
I know the Dutch would like them to host again. Because yeah, they kind of had it for 2 years, didn't they? So it might be nice for them to have a little break. But if she won with her vocals and that song, it would be an extremely worthy Eurovision winner, I think.
I totally agree.
I don't believe there's much we can say about that, is there?
No, everything is correct. It's like a perfect product. The girl is correct. The girl is great. The vocals are great. The song is great. The visuals are great. Everything is great. It's a great product. Round up. I don't think I can find a flaw in it.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to describe it. I mean, if we're talking Eurovision, the flaw is that it's not flashy. But this is, I think, the year where you really don't need to be flashy in order to win.
No, and you feel the vibe changing a little bit in terms of that, actually. So yeah, it'd be a worthy winner. I'm going to go to Alain, who I think is from France. What do we think about France's performance?
What do we think about Alban?
It's the main question on. I'm not sure, but I think he might be straight.
He is.
He is straight.
He confirmed it.
He's confirmed it about 150 times over the past few weeks. So sorry, that was me just trying to be a little bit funny. But yeah, he's. I actually rewatched their national final performance tonight before I came on here, and again, it's one that I'm really excited to see. I'm unsure as to how this will do. I think some people are saying that, it's going to be top 5, going to be top 10. I'm not 100% sure it will be. It doesn't mean it doesn't deserve to be. I'm just not sure that everyone is going to be getting on board with it when it comes to the final, or is going to get it. So it's one where I'm not quite sure where it's going to place. I can see it on the left-hand side.
I think it's going to come down to how it's not staged, but on the switch of the camera angles, because there's so much dynamism, and they're trying to create this witch convent kind of magic atmosphere, and you can't have just one like static camera looking at them like going around or singing around. The dynamism and the captivating part of the song is also going to come with the visuals that's going to support this magic conjure that they want to recreate. And I think it's very interesting. It's going to be something very different to the rest of the countries.
I think
sorry.
In terms of one of the songs from this year, it stands on its own, really, and people have made comparisons to like Go Away from last year or Tentrigatus from Benidorm Fest this year, and I see all those comparisons, but at the very least, like among these 40 songs, it's really kind of in its own domain, and I think that's a great aspect of it. Because the question was about the performance, I think that's the area where a lot of people are not that sure how it will do, and hopefully they can kind of clean it up a bit, both like in terms of their actual presence and vocals, but then also, as you mentioned, Clara, the visuals themselves. I love the color scheme, the black and black, green, and the orange glow from the fire. But yeah, I think there's a bit of cleaning up that needs to be done. But if they're able to do that, then yeah, they could definitely finish top 10, I think.
Yeah, and this is my favourite comment of the night. Chanel could smack me in the face and I would apologise. Lots of Chanel fans loving it. Francesca, you're saying that France is really growing on you. And you're also saying that every Big Five has made a great effort this year. Germany is the weakest for you. I have to say it's the weakest for me as well in terms of the Big Five.
And in terms of like maybe the whole contest along with Bulgaria. I open a can of worms.
I kind of have to agree as far as the overall package goes. Like I think that Germany is probably destined for another bottom 5 finish, sadly. I do actually quite like Malik as a performer. I just feel like there's certain aspects that are missing. Some, like if he had a bit more of a team behind him, like Chanel has, then I mean, obviously they're very different songs, but it just means sort of in terms of like expertise and making those kind of creative decisions, then I think we would have seen something quite different. But sadly, I don't think that they're going to be improving themselves that much this year.
No, I don't think so. I find it quite forgettable when I listen to it. 10 years ago, this would have been a fantastic song, and it sounds dated to me. The guy's a real talent, though. I mean, he plays lots of instruments. He's still very young. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really feeling it, but I can't like everything. Katezi wants to know, what do we think about Estonia's song, Qualify or Not? Tere. You're from Estonia as well.
Tere, kuidas läheb? Ma räägin natukene eesti keelt. I am upset that Stefan is not bringing the Estonian Cowboys to the stage of Turin. It was what I was looking forward to. No, but I honestly don't think Estonia is going to qualify this year.
Really?
Yeah. Unless like the staging impresses me, because I don't know. It's also quite forgettable, I think.
See, I feel like, firstly, I'm kind of glad that he's not bringing the Cowboys, because I think that it was a little bit too much of a step away from him. And like, because for those people who have followed Estilal for a few years now, we've seen Stefan show up a few times, and sometimes he did very well, sometimes he didn't do as well. 4 times, yeah. And there's something about what he's brought this time around. I mean, obviously he won, so it's clearly made enough of an impact. But the way that he kind of stylized his voice for this song, it just works so well. And since we were talking about the pre-parties earlier, he was one that also stood out to me from a performance point of view. So I actually feel pretty comfortable about Estonia qualifying. I don't see them as a winner. I don't know about top 10 yet, but like you're right, the staging, how they changed the idea behind the staging is going to be a big factor of it. But I feel very confident about them qualifying.
I'll be happy to eat my words. Like I like Stefan as a performer, but yeah.
Right, Jess, I'm going to come to you. What do you think about Ranella from
I love her as a person. I love her as a performer. And I do really like her song this year. I wasn't mad on the revamp in the beginning, but it is slowly growing on me a little bit. And yeah, I just love everything Albania's bringing this year and have a good feeling about their chances.
Solensen, you did not expect to be misgendered on a live stream. I hope it wasn't me. I don't think I've misgendered anyone today. So if it was, apologies. Emma Kieran wants to know, is Greece going to flop? You love it so much, but you're concerned for it. Well, Greece kind of one of the favourites this year, I think. For me, it's not an obvious winner. And I think if it does do well, it will be more based on jury votes rather than televotes. But I don't know. I still think it's going to do really well.
I mean, I don't really get that
these days. You know,
I don't really get the hype over Greece this year. Maybe that's just because I'm not a massive fan of the song, but I find the song kind of a bit forgettable. So I'm wondering whether that could be a hindrance to how well it does.
I would wait to give my opinion until I see her sing live or see a rehearsal, because for me that's mostly what defines if it's going to qualify or not.
There is a live performance that she's done actually on Greek TV, so there is one that you can watch. So
okay.
And as is usually for a lot of television in the Balkans, they use playback, but it was not playback, and she was using the live vocals. So there is something to go off of.
Okay, good. Then I will come back and make my opinion.
Right, Katz wants to know, where do we think Sweden will place? For me, potential winner.
Yeah, top 3.
Yeah. Anywhere in the top 3.
Same for everyone. Jordan C, you're predicting 8th to 13th for the UK. Okay. We could live with that.
I'd be happy with that.
We could live with that. And Elton, you think that Albania will be the dark horse this year. Stevie Gray, you want to know, do we think Ireland or Malta can qualify? So I'm going to say Malta, yes. Ireland, probably not.
Ireland, no. Malta, it has chances, definitely.
Yeah, the same for me. There isn't much that I've seen from Ireland that really gives me confidence. She had the best song from their selection. Let's be clear about that. So they put their best foot forward from what they had. But I could see it happening, but I can see it happening more likely for a lot of other countries, if we put it that way. And then Malta, kind of the same thing, where she has the performance down, songs kind of, so-so.
Yes.
I'm going to say Malta, yes. I can see them qualifying. As for Ireland, I think depending on how her live performance goes, she could just sneak into the top 10.
Ireland?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, depending on vocals and how the staging is.
No, I didn't mean to be so shocked. I just had to check which country.
Shade.
Okay.
So that's a no. That's a no from Andy, just so you know. Ireland, we're sorry.
It'll be so funny if it actually happens, and then we're going to have to come back to this moment right now.
I honestly think that it's fine if we just don't get it right. It's like we're YouTubers.
Yeah, we're not placing any money on this. We have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Mariano, what do we think? Do we think Italy have the chance to win again? Yes.
Yeah.
There's a number of countries that I could see winning. It really is wide open. And when we say that, it's, people always say, who do you think will win? I can't say one country. I can give you a handful of countries that I think could potentially
Last year it was easier to predict, and maybe the year before, but this year it's really hard. This year it's really, really hard.
But not so easy to predict until we started to see the rehearsals, though.
Yes, so, exactly. Yeah. That's actually
we haven't seen any of the rehearsals yet. So, I mean, it could all change. We could be calling a complete other country saying, actually, this is a potential winner.
Yes, could win Eurovision.
Yeah, why not? I think that last year there were more contenders, but this year although there are fewer of them, there's still so many variables, like, because last year there was so many of the favorites were really up tempo and high energy, whereas this year the majority of the favorites are actually ballads. And I think that ballads, really the make or break factor for ballads is staging. So we'll see.
Well, talking about up tempo, Tree wants to know, what do you think about Austria's qualification chance now that we've seen some live performances?
I think they have the possibility to qualify if the live vocals are good and the staging is good.
See, the thing I've always said about Austria is I don't think the live vocals can just be good with a song like this. I think they have to be flawless. Because you've got this, this dance song that's going to need to sound as close to a studio version as possible. And that's the only concern I have with this, is that it won't, and it will just sound like someone singing over a dance track. But the vocals have improved, and they've given reasons as to why there was some criticism about her live vocals previously as well. So yeah, until we see the rehearsal, I really can't say when it comes to Austria. I would love to see it go through because I love the song, and also love Lumix as well. He's an amazing DJ.
He is. He knows how to get the party going.
Yeah. But anyway, Stu, what do you think on this one?
This is a real big TBD for this one, because, I mean, as you mentioned, some people have been a bit concerned about the vocals after the pre-party performances. The broadcaster has said that Pia is working with a vocal coach, and that she was feeling ill at some point. So, there's all those factors can impact people's impressions. I think another thing that's possibly working against this is that we haven't seen a successful staging of the DJ producer with a vocalist yet, as far as I can think of, because I'm thinking of like Darude from Finland 2019, Gromi from Poland 2018, and then it's just like there's something about that setup that just has a hard time blending in with a song contest, even though most people know that there aren't any actual instruments being played. When you get someone there who is not really playing instruments to begin with, it does raise the question of like, what are they doing there? What do they add to it, even though it is their song? So yeah, I think that is probably the most concerning aspect of it. But I don't know. Well, we do have to see those rehearsals to really know for sure.
Let's have a look. Jordan C, you're saying that you think the bookies might have the top four right at the moment. Top four are Ukraine, Italy, Spain, and UK. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Sweden. Sorry, Sweden. Yeah. So Ukraine, Italy, Sweden, and UK. Again, I'll be very happy with that.
That's true. Yeah.
That top four. I think Spain are fifth as well. So even if that was the top five,
Chanel number 5.
Chanel number 5. Stephen, do we think that the Ukraine could? Sorry, apologies. Do we think Ukraine could win?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The song is good. I like the song. It keeps the people go crazy with it. It's very sentimental, but it's also very modern. So you have both the maybe the ballad part and then the fast track. So it's like a combination of two songs in one. If we are only rating the song.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say in advance now that the only thing that worries me about Ukraine winning is the fact that if they win, everyone's going to be saying, "Oh, it's only because it didn't deserve to win. Oh, it's only because of the thing." They deserve to win regardless of whether there's been an invasion or not. I think the song is fantastic. I love Kalush and the rest of the guys. It's just such a musically interesting song. It's got the fusion of the kind of the ethnic Ukrainian kind of elements with the rap. Even before the invasion, I was loving this.
Yes.
Yeah. When we watched the Ukrainian selection, there were at least four songs that could have done very well at Eurovision. So, I mean, it is a shame that. Well, I mean, there's lots of reasons why it's a shame that the world is the way that it is. But I mean, because we can't separate the world from what's happening at Eurovision, much like we thought we could, or some people thought we could in the past. It is a reality that this is going on, but it's also a reality that Ukraine has always had a very strong song. So if they win, then we can't divorce that from it, and it should still be seen as deserved. So, you know, it's, as you said, there's lots of really creative elements to it, and it is giving people a lot of life, because the fact that there is this connection that Ukrainians are making to the war, and how the song makes them feel respect for their country, like that's a beautiful sentiment, and that's the kind of sentiment that a winning song can have.
Mm-hmm. And if it, that's what I was going to say. If it does win, I really hope it doesn't get overshadowed by that, and that they can, you know, they can take. I mean, a victory for them in Eurovision isn't the most important thing for them right now. That's not why they're there. But yeah, you know, if it happens, I would be very happy. Not everyone's going to love the song, fair enough, but just because you don't love it doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve to win. There's been many Eurovision winners that I haven't always. I was going to say dug. Yeah. I haven't always digged. Digged.
Yeah, but it's one thing is separating music from politics, but one thing it's not possible to separate culture from politics, and this song is speaking about culture, so it's very understandable. And also everyone's mother will be called Stefania that night.
Oh
yeah, and you know, you have to, we were saying the other day that they've gone from being a band representing their country to literally being the face of their country on this world stage. And it's so important to have them there. Francesca, you've raised a point. If they won't host Eurovision in Kyiv next year, if they win, of course, we know that's not going to happen. I mean, I'm going to say now that I hope that if Ukraine do win, that Poland get first dibs to host Eurovision next year. I would love to see that, and I think Poland deserve that as well. Stefano, you want to know, are we coming to Turin? Yes, we will be there in a couple of weeks, and we can't wait. I can't wait to meet Stu for the first time in real life. I can't wait to go to an Italian, like a proper Italian restaurant, and eat some Italian food. And also Eurovision is happening as well, apparently. So yeah, we can't wait. And we really, really want to meet some of you guys. I know some of you will be traveling over from your various locations to go and experience Eurovision in Torino. Some of you are based in Italy already. We hope to have a Eurovision meetup while we're there. So anyone that wants to come and hang out with us or have a drink or say hey or buy me some pizza, we would really, really love to meet you guys. And we're not just saying that. We do love connecting with you in real life as opposed to how we do normally, which is via the internet, the Wi-Fi. So yeah, we will let you guys know when we're doing that, but we would love to meet as many of you as possible.
Did I miss something? Where did that come from?
What's that?
Wi-Fi, as you just said.
It's like Wi-Fi, but whenever I go to other countries, they always call it like Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's what they said.
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Let's just say hello to Adam Stachurski. Hello to you. ESC is saying UK will not win.
Water closet.
We might not win the water closet, but we could win Eurovision.
Oh, Jess, what a comeback, hey? Edita wants to know, do we think Poland could win? I'm not sure he's going to win. I think he's going to get Poland's best result for a long time.
And if he wins, it wouldn't be like a big surprise. Like, it wouldn't be something that'd be like, what? This is raged.
Yeah, and
I could understand it.
Yeah, no, if he won, he'd be a worthy winner. Just thinking about the other songs now, and it all, when you start to piece together everything about a Eurovision, you get the other songs, you get the other contenders, you can feel the kind of vibe from the fans, and you start getting the polls. Milan wants to know which countries are dark horses this year. So dark horses, I don't take this to mean a dark horse to win, but maybe a dark horse to do well that people weren't expecting.
I always think of dark horses as Cesar Sampson from 2018, because that, firstly, that was my first contest, and everybody was using the phrase "dark horse" around him. Whereas, like, I, being the proud Austrian that I was like, yeah, this is the best song, so of course it wins the jury vote, whatever. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I have the same definition of a dark horse, and I mean, we kind of already talked about it. Like, for me, would be Portugal or Iceland. But I see a lot of songs that could have that potential. Australia, which is a country that we haven't talked about yet, I could see being a potential jury winner.
Me too.
Yeah, I'd have to say I'm really surprised because I was reading in one of this is why I shouldn't read in the Facebook groups, but I was reading this long post about people not feeling Sheldon's song this year, and it really surprised me because, again, musically, it's a beautiful song. He gives us one of the most emotional performances, I think, that we will see at Eurovision this year, and it's just so real. So I do feel like it's not been getting the love that I expected it to get, which is a surprise for me. But I agree, it's a potential jury winner at least.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm thinking a little bit too much along the lines of Tamara Tedesca, because in both of those examples, they're like powerful, they're power ballads with strong vocals where it has a really accessible message. So that's kind of the line of thinking that I've been having about Australia. I get that some people find it a bit too repetitive, and maybe they're right about that, and it won't be seen with as much love. But I do see it as a contender because of the performance, certainly.
I think the live is better, way better than the recorded version that we all hear in the Eurovision playlist.
Any other dark horses? I'm still saying Malta. Malta's really switched it up for me. I think Malta's going to do much better than people expected.
I'm sticking with Iceland. Maybe going to add Belgium into the mix.
Ooh.
And actually, maybe Georgia as well.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Everyone, especially with the televote.
Love Georgia.
Yeah, I think Georgia is has been under the radar for many people. And I saw it on the live comments. Someone said Georgia when we were talking about the dark horse. And then I was like, oh, yes, indeed. So Georgia and Latvia, because it's like, yeah.
I'm addicted to Georgia's song, and I actually think they're like some of the coolest guys in Eurovision this year. They're so cool. They're just really cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to be cool. I want to be like, I want to be
like you.
Stephen Kendall, for me, do we think that people would be as excited about Cornelia if Death of Us had won in Norway? Yes, I do think people would be as excited. And I can see what you're saying, kind of the style of the song. But for me, Cornelia's song has got the edge on Death of Us.
Yeah, I mean, one observation that's been made about this year is that it is a ballad-heavy year, and a lot of those ballads are sung by women. I don't think that they're all that comparable, though. Like, I think that there's so much about each one of them that makes them separate. And when thinking about those two songs, for example, Hold Me Closer has this like alt rock sound to it, which I think helps distinguish itself from the more stripped back ballads. Because like if you compare it to, let's say, like Maru, for example, hers has this like, West Coast USA, as you described, Andy, like a kind of like a beach sound with the detuning, and it's like, it's a very modern approach to a ballad. Whereas Sweden's is very, I mean, again, it's alt rock, right? Yeah, I don't know. I wish that people wouldn't look at the ballads and such like kind of paint them all with the same brush. But I guess that's what happens when there aren't as many bops.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Sorry, I wasn't just throwing up, by the way. I just had to have a little cough. I'm going to say one thing about Cornelia as well, Stu. There's a bit of an 80s vibe to it as well.
Yeah, a little bit. It's more than that, though.
Clara, were you going to say something?
Sorry, I think I
thought you were going to say something.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that the first... I froze. I think I froze. Did I freeze? Am I here?
You're good.
Am I
You're
there?
good. I can hear you.
Oh, I'm good. Okay, so I was going to say that the first time I heard Death of Us, I was like, okay, this is interesting. But then when I heard Cornelia's song, I was like, completely drawn in. So it's like a different. You come from a different place. So yeah.
I have to say hello to Stefan Plotstovsky. I'm so sorry. You're new here and your favorite is Portugal. So if you're new here, Stefan, please subscribe to our channel, and anyone else that is new here for the first time. And I love you for that, because I also love Portugal. I know Stu loves Portugal. I know Clara loves Portugal, and we won't talk about Jess.
I can tolerate it, you know.
Tolerate it.
What a compliment.
That's mean. That's borderline mean. Like, you can stay.
Eddie or Edai, you want to know what do we think about Romania's entry? Real grower for me. Love it. Can't wait to hear it. Every time it's a Eurovision party, and I love him. And it doesn't sound so dated to me anymore.
It's a bit of a guilty pleasure for me.
For me, it's not a guilty pleasure. It's a pleasure. I forget the guilty. Like, the guilty was left way beyond days.
Yeah.
Stupid channel. Oh, sorry.
Well, I was just going to agree. I think at first it was a little bit more of a guilty pleasure, but now it's just I like it without shame.
There we go. Eurovision, new form of praise. I can tolerate it. Dan's Stupid channel. You're also new here, so please make sure you subscribe. And I'm just going to say, I've been aboard the San Marino train since they selected Achille Lauro with Stripper. I freaking love it. It's definitely up there in kind of my top 7, top 6 this year. I'm very, very excited to see him perform it live on stage. Maybe 12 points from Italy as well. Who knows? I think I can just see it doing really well. That's a dark horse for me. There you go. If you want a dark horse, yeah. San Marino.
I can definitely see that. I love the vibe. I love everything.
Yeah. Stu, are you there yet with San Marino? Are you still on that Sammarinese fence?
As far as I can see, I mean, the fact that he is so well known in Italy and that he'll be playing to a home audience, I think is definitely working in his favor. I'm not in love with the song personally, but I think it can qualify.
And ESC is saying San Marino has numerous songwriters and it doesn't reflect in the song. Well, I mean, you know, I don't necessarily think it would take. I think it took 11 people to write that song, but I'm sure maybe they all had very small parts and it all fit together.
I mean, really. It's a very clever
song. Make a lot
song.
of sense if you ask me.
But it's a very clever song. It's just getting different references from the 80s and 70s and put them all together in a song that's completely new, and it's just we all enjoy it, except Stuart.
And I also think that the biggest selling point of San Marino this year is not the song. Like, I think it's more the performer and what he will do with the performance. The only question that I have about that is from people outside of Italy, there will more than likely be comparisons to Måneskin. And even though Achille started his career earlier and has been known for longer, people from outside might be like, okay, this guy's trying to do what the other guys that won did last year. So will that be a factor? I don't know.
Oh, I really want him to do well. Adam wants to know, who was your favorite from the Madrid pre-party? For you, it was Rosa Lynn. Well, let's just talk about Rosa Lynn, because we haven't really spoken about her tonight. What a talented artist. She wrote the song. She's very young. She talks very openly about the importance of talking about mental health. I have to say, I absolutely love her. And I really, really, really want her song to do well at Eurovision. For me, it deserves it. And it's my favourite rhythm of Eurovision, I think, this year, if that makes any sense at all. Just kind of the flow and the rhythm of the song, along with Lithuania as well. But yeah, absolutely love it. And she was actually in a house when she was filming her video, so she was actually up in the air. Apparently, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she told me anyway. I hope she wasn't lying. But thoughts on Armenia, Stu?
It was a grower for me. I never disliked it, but when I heard it the first time, I think the problem was that I heard the leaked demo, which didn't have quite as much of the embellishment on it. But then when I saw it with the music video, I was like, okay, this is quite good. And then, as we were talking about earlier, she has been one of the people who has been pretty consistent when it's come to her live performances. And the fact that she's closing out semi-1, I think, is a great opportunity for her to secure a qualification. So I think that all the ingredients are there. It's, hopefully they're able to continue that up until rehearsals. So, yeah.
Yes.
I really like Armenia's song this year. It's a very, I want to say beautiful song, but not kind of beautiful like Sweden song, for example, like a different kind of beautiful. It's got a nice beat and a nice melody to it, but kind of very catchy. And I really hope that Rosalind does well with this, because I think it will be very well deserved. But yeah.
Really clever lyrics as well. I think I love the lyrics in this song. Clara.
I love her vibe. She has this calm presence that really spreads like a wave of calmness around the audience. And she's really good live. She's very much in tune. She doesn't miss a note.
Guys, I think we're going to have to wrap. It could have been a long, long, long time. It's been so much fun that I haven't even seen how long we've been live. But we have to say hello to this legend. It's Euro Guy. Hey, Euro Guy. How you doing? It was great to see you, albeit briefly, in Amsterdam 3 years after we last met you in Amsterdam. And you want to know what is our personal favourite song this year? I'm not going to be able to give you one, but I will give you a handful. And probably the other guys might be the same. So your favourites from this year. Let's start with you, Jess.
My top 3 at the moment is Sweden in first place, then Iceland, and then France.
Stu.
Favorite to win is Sweden. Favorite song, personally, Serbia.
Ooh, my favorite songs are Sweden, Latvia, and Romania, and because they are the one that I'm playing on repeat all the time in my playlist.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to say my favourites, my favourite songs. I'm probably going to have to say Sweden, Sweden and Italy. I'd say if you made me pick 2, but if I can just chuck in a few more, I'm going to chuck in the UK, Ukraine, Portugal, and the Netherlands, and Georgia, and San Marino.
It's not fair. We have to choose. It's so hard. You see, it's so hard this year.
Yeah, I mean, I remember people a few weeks ago saying, "Oh, it's such a weak year. It's such a weak year. It's not a weak year at all. It's a open, diverse year," and I'm here for it. And I can't wait to start seeing the rehearsals in a few weeks' time. But anyway, guys, we have to go now. Thank you so much to all of you that have joined us. It's been insane the amount of comments we've had in the live chat. If you are not watching us live, please do remember to subscribe. Please also remember the donate button beneath this video if you want to help us raise money for Ukraine. And until the next time, I'm going to leave you with some very wise words, or a very wise word, and it is boom. See you guys.
Bye.